do is the Pledge of Allegiance. This has been customary. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. One of those things you just read.
We like doing that.
I'm glad. I'm worried about the day that I don't, I suppose. All right, so the minutes, did you get a chance, Barbara, to look at the minutes?
Yeah, I have no problem with them, so I will make a motion to approve the minutes from September 6th, 2022.
Okay, and I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, that's your line.
All right,
Aye.
and you're gonna sign there. And then I think we also have to address the minutes,
Yeah,
The,
we decided we were going to keep
the
those.
non-public, and we decided we did, so we're gonna keep these non-public meetings private.
Right, so I will make a motion to approve those and keep them
All right,
sealed.
and I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and do we have a little
We
signature
just,
up here?
what you do is you initial it on the seal.
On the seal. Oh, yeah.
On the back, on the seal, like right here.
Oh,
like
that
this.
seal.
So,
I was looking for
shows.
a seal.
yeah, not the state seal, on the sealed envelope, I should say. Sure, that way.
You gotta be good with this. Okay. That was that. And, all right, so the next thing we got is driveway culvert issues, okay? And Gary, I know that you had some concern about some erosion and culverts going over and gravel on our roads. And
Yeah,
making
not
a
so
dangerous
much
situation.
the culverts, it's just design of the driveways, they come down and there's no break, it's straight to the road and then there's sand and gravel washing across the road, which is causing a hazard to motorcycles and cyclists.
Right.
We had someone crash and make a complaint
Oh.
about it. So I don't know what kind of legal liability, if that's open to the town up to any. You know, it's our job to maintain our roads to be safe to be traveled on. So, you know, I didn't know if we needed to contact our legal counsel at all to find out if there is liability for the town there, and if so, even the driveways that are grandfathered, can we make them come into compliance?
Well, we can, because it says right on this thing about driveway culverts and all of this, and we do have the authority to make people fix them if they're not right, even if
These are
even
old
if they were
driveways
done.
that have been forever, and this
I
has
know.
been going on forever, and never, but now somebody's complained, and, you know, I guess it is a legitimate.
It is immaterial whether the driveway connection predates the town's permit system. I mean, it goes as far back as that. So basically, we'd have to identify them.
Yeah, I started doing that today. I haven't done all the roads yet, but there's 10. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 that are really bad, but there's 10. I mean, if you start with one, you can't just pick and choose.
Right. Have you taken pictures?
I haven't taken any pictures. I just wrote down addresses to find out if that's something that we should pursue.
Yeah. Can I ask you a
Yeah,
question?
please.
Is this something that when Kevin's approving the driveway permits now, that he's looking at to make sure that there's proper drainage and culverts for
Right, you know,
future ones?
we do that together.
Yeah.
You know, there's picture
Mhm.
way.
That's new ones.
Yeah,
New-
yeah, I'm
right,
just
new
saying,
ones
so
are
we do
definitely
it
conforming.
currently.
Right. But these are old, you know, old
Yeah.
driveways before there was probably any regulations whatsoever.
Well, I think we should be moving forward on this. I think you should make the effort. You've identified them, okay? And that would be our next step, would to say, okay, what did we identify? What is the problem here? And then get in contact with the people who own them and explain to them. And maybe, Julie, we could send that, this is your responsibility, so they realize we're not just dreaming this up, that we have something to, you know, rest our hats on.
And I believe
You
it
know.
says in there that if they do not agree to fix it, then we can fix it and build them.
Right, and I think
What
Jay already
about
mentioned that.
driveways? I mean, you got a bunch of driveways that were done, let's just say pre-2008, that were put in and approved by the town and the road agent at the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're gonna go back and say, hey, this isn't approved.
Well, if it's causing a hazard to the town, leave it liable to stuff.
There's a whole bunch of them though that you're not gonna get into specs, you gotta figure out how you're gonna deal with that.
Oh, I don't think this is gonna be as easy as just saying, you're gonna just fix it.
Oh,
There's
no.
gotta be, there's gonna be some
Easy.
engineering required, it's gonna cost somebody some money, and,
Yeah.
and I suppose some of these folks are probably gonna say they don't wanna do it.
But I know there's specific ones that you will not get into spec though, no matter how much
No matter.
engineering you throw at it. I don't wanna name any names, but
But we can make them better, we can
Do
make
something.
effort to do something so that, you know, like Gary's concerned about liability, that if we made an effort, did anything, did try to make an improvement, what more can you do?
But aren't we also, you know, concerned with the fact that some of these are gonna be town roads and some are gonna be state roads too, so. do
Well,
we
these
have
are
to-
all town roads that I'm concerned with.
Okay, so
The
are
bad one
we,
on the state road is at Eagle Mountain House in the
right,
States. The neighbor across, I guess it's Father Plank.
yeah,
And the state, the DOT, DES, everybody's up there. I see they got silk screens up today and they're
Yeah.
keeping that
Good.
road clear. But they're gonna have, the state's gonna make them correct that, whatever they gotta do.
but I,
Now, which one was that, Gary, sorry?
At Eagle Mountain House.
Oh, yeah, I've seen, yeah.
Because I mean, in the wintertime,
then
it's
it's horse and buggy.
Right.
No,
but I
But, you
think
know,
it's
the-
worth it to consult legal counsel to put something together that says, your driveway is not in
Me too.
whatever kind of shape it needs to be in, however we word
Right.
that,
You know,
per
that-
our town documentation, and then you can say something about, please contact either Gary Allen or
Mhm.
so-and-so at DOT to figure out what to do and make it right, because if it has to have repair, it's gotta fit in with the road
Oh,
that
sure.
it's on. So if we put something out that at least sets the
Right. You know, and
precedent
I
for
feel
who
it's
to
softened the
contact.
blow, like the town isn't being back. I like, you are opening the town up to legal liability here.
Mhm.
Right,
You know, and that's gonna affect everybody.
right. We can get everybody to cooperate, we'll do this right, I think Barbara probably makes a good point, you know, just to have the power of our legal attorney behind this whole
Right,
thing.
and say, you know, there is an issue.
And the rules and regs that this very state very clearly that we can
Right.
do this, you know.
And also a remedy periods, because if you just say you need to fix this, is it within,
Right, he's got
you know,
that.
30, 60, 90 days, is it 6 months, is it,
Right.
you know, what kind of remedy period? So maybe we can, number one, talk to the attorney, number two, put a timeline together of how we want to inform people, starting with
Right.
10 folks you have, and then who to contact if they're on a state road or a town road,
Mhm.
and a remedy period and costs. Those are my first thoughts, and then hammer it out from there.
Now, of course, we're at the end of September.
Right, so, you know, not gonna expect them to do it now, because ground's gonna be frozen a month.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll let them know through the winter, this is coming. Come spring, by fall time, these
Yeah.
driveways need to be corrected before going to another winter.
Right,
Mhm.
That would make sense.
right.
Did you say you're done reviewing, or you still need to see if there are more?
There's still more, I haven't covered all the
All right,
roads
so
yet.
once you finalize the list, then let's
Yeah.
touch base and we can
Yeah,
go from there.
right, yeah.
Yeah, you may, yeah. And whatever pending drivers you have out there, I suppose. But remember the conversation we had, I don't know, several months ago, or maybe a year ago, about how this very difficult driveways we have in the town of Jackson, especially where they've been built,
Right,
and how we have to incorporate Burr into these,
right.
To get it right, because we don't
Have
know.
to be engineered.
you know, so that's another part of this. So, not to make a motion on this, we're just moving forward, right?
Just moving forward.
Just
from
moving
there.
forward on this, but yeah, I think we
Yeah, I
both
guess-
agree with some legal
Contact
assistance
legal
from our
counsel
lawyer,
first, that'd be first
Right.
step.
that that we wanna do this, and you've got to, identify them all, and then Julie will kind of work that way through when we get them all done.
Right,
Okay, great.
Okay, that's
good.
All right, next we have a report, intent to cut,
Oh, no,
report
you
of a
got-
cut.
You got the Lions Club.
Oh, I'm sorry, mine's got that, there's, they're right here. Do you want to just, were they expected to be here?
They're waiting to get more details
Okay.
from your decision.
Okay, so
From
let's,
our,
So the bench is in,
yeah,
all right.
and
Where are
now,
we gonna put it? That's
so
the
I
question.
think, if I remember correctly, it's a recycle bench from the Lions Club, bless you. I think that the decision was either by the garden or out on the front deck here, I
Right.
believe.
and I think by the garden, I love it by the garden, because you can come and sit back there. First of all, the garden is a natural habitat, in my opinion here. And you've got a recycled bench, which kind of fits in that theme of environment.
Yeah.
And I like having it there if you have events with kids working out of the garden or something with the library. Just adds another seating place.
I know it was one or the other, though Julie had been talking about the front, and I thought that'd be nice too, but the only reason I had any apprehension about the garden is that garden always gonna be there if we're doing other things up here.
Yep.
And so it would have to be moved, but if that doesn't matter to you, I'm fine with it. Just start there and see what happens,
Yeah, and
right?
it's a movable bench too. It's not like it's
Yeah.
a granite
Well,
bench,
Okay.
you know.
So now they wanna do a ceremony, like
Presentation.
a presentation. So,
So
yeah, what,
prior to the next selectmen's meeting, Frank was thinking?
Yeah,
Does that work?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
okay, like 3 o'clock, you mean, something like
Yeah.
that? Right. 'cause
Maybe
we
Maybe
shouldn't take
probably
long.
3:15?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
shouldn't
think
take
it'll
that long at all.
Yeah.
important things.
Yes, they are.
Jim was out there, by the way, just as a, one of his chain of thought, he was looking at where the water's coming into the garden there.
Yeah,
He wanted to make sure, he wasn't quite sure, there were 2 lines, obviously, one from the library, and then there's like a trickle system or something there.
okay, yeah, there probably is. I
Yeah,
haven't
he said, he
looked
looked like he was figuring it out.
at- Yeah, right, I told that's probably good to be this week, get those airlines,
Okay.
get the lines blown out so they don't freeze.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
All right, so we make a motion on this, the bench is gonna
Well,
go,
you've already made the motion, they have already
To accept
accepted it.
but how about the placement, doesn't matter? I know we made the motion, accept
We'll
it, so.
just put in the minutes that you guys had a discussion and decided that the
Okay.
garden was
We're good.
was
Okay,
to go.
sounds good to me. Sounds real good. All right, so now we can go to the report cut here, on, VO7 tax map lot 55. It's a yield tax of $87.13. This is pretty simple, just to make a motion to accept this cut.
I will make a motion to accept the report of cut for V7-55.
Okay, I second that. Did you say that right? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And I'm gonna sign right here. And what is the date? 9/27.
57.
This is that whole, keep us all together. Okay, now the poll petition request. Gary, you've had a look at that?
Yep, I went up to review them and see what they're doing. They are replacing the poles, they're old poles,
Yeah.
they need to be replaced.
Mhm.
I see no issues where they are at the present time.
Okay.
They replaced one pole already, and they have set it back a little further from the road.
Where
So
is
they're
it?
doing all they
From
can.
Dundee, I think.
From
Is it Dundee?
Oakview
Oh,
up towards their park,
okay.
there's about 10 poles, I think they've got marked that they're replacing. They are in the town right of way, but it's not an issue.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's where they've been.
Are they better placed or just different?
I think they're putting them right, the same location, like
Oh.
right next to the old pole, but actually they set back maybe a couple feet farther back.
Was there somebody complaining about
No, I don't think so. I think it's just they see it as being an issue with poles and so on.
Don't they do periodic?
And they're putting up bigger
Replacement.
poles, they're bigger poles, I think what it is. They're little teeny poles until they've been there forever. So they just were being proactive.
Oh, I thought I heard something about a petition or something.
Well, they want to.
It's called a poll petition
Poll
request.
petition request,
Just like their application.
Yeah.
that the application to replace the poles,
Oh,
probably where they are in the right of way, they need to have permission.
the regular power poles?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that
they
they
have
had,
like a co-op.
I didn't know they did an application to replace them.
Well, they need selectmen approval, so
Yeah,
what's the
yeah.
document called?
So,
So I'll make a motion to approve the
First
poll
time I heard that.
replacements
okay,
per the NHGC poll petition request.
and I'll make a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'm gonna sign right here. Gary, we already have your signature on this one. so-
Yep, I already signed
Yeah, I
that,
see.
dated it today.
Okay. And also, we have, it doesn't cost us very much money, but I think it's probably a good idea, this coalition of communities for so-called donor towns, which we have been in the past. And apparently, we have somebody working down in the state to at least represent some of the so-called property-rich towns to try and ameliorate whatever they're gonna hit us with in terms of taxes. And Julie tells me, and this has been going on for a long time, I don't know how much it costs, but you said it wasn't very much. It's
Very
worth,
minimal, yeah.
you know,
We've done
it's
it.
well worth having an advocate for us.
Yeah, and this is just a renewal.
So, so I make a motion that we renew
Yep,
this contract.
I will second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
So
All right.
$300 a year or something
I
like
don't-
that. something-
Yeah, I can't even recall off the top of my head, but it's only a few $100.
Yeah.
Alrighty, now, Ms. Jay, why don't we, you know, because you're here.
All right.
Now I get to facilities, just one more.
So, AirPat grant, we pretty much gotten official word that we did not get the grant, which is the third time we've tried. I've tried with 2 or 3 different people. So what we've got to do is sit down and figure out how we want to fund this. How do you want to fund it? Because especially that some of the smaller grants are definitely probably easier for so-called wealthy town. I mean, let's face it, we're not a poor town. Some of the smaller grants are definitely a little bit easier to get. We've gotten some generator grants before and $2,000 grants here or there. When you get into the bigger ones, I've been warned from some people from a bunch of years that it's definitely going to be hard for Jackson to get
Anything.
bigger grants.
As opposed to
Now,
Bartlett.
you know, you want to hire a professional grant writer,
I don't think
which
we're,
is
I don't
way
think
above,
we're gonna have
which is
any-
way above anybody that we've had or
Right.
got.
But the time that you spent on this already,
It's-
I mean, we were really hoping that teaming with Bartlett
yeah.
Yeah,
might have at
And
least
it-
gotten us through the first
So the
round.
entire grant request was denied for both towns?
could you, Jay?
I'm still waiting for the actual letter,
Okay.
so I have kind of this little hope that, but yeah. we were-
So, Jay, because I can't remember, because when you came to the meeting, there was how many packs? What was the cost of the packs?
We've got, well, we got 6 that are 2007 edition. We've got 3 2002 edition and 2 97 edition, which is 11 total packs. New packs, just packs, not a bottle, not a face piece, are like $6,000 a piece, today's price. Just a bare pack.
Yeah.
So that's like 66 grand if we were to replace all of them. The 97s that we have aren't fixable right now. The other ones, you can still buy parts and fix them. It comes down to either we piecemeal them, like we've done in the past, or we just do a bulk purchase. Which the big advantage, the hard part with piecemealing is operations wise it's fine, but when it comes down to the maintenance side of them or the members checking them out, it gets, when you have 3 or 4 different editions, it's hard to figure out how the batteries work in them and how the backup stuff works. And so the ideal thing would be to get all the same edition. The bad part with that is when it comes time to replace them, it's a big purchase rather than being spaced out. But so your options are basically a bulk purchase. You know, maybe buy 5 packs at once, buy 3 a year for 3 years or something. That's an option. Of course, you can always, in a bulk purchase, you could look at where you use unreserved fund balance. You do it as a separate warrant article. Another option is you could buy used demo packs, which are 2013 edition, which would, like, I've got an opportunity to buy demo packs, which are good packs. They're just 2013 edition. which is newer than anything we have,
How long does a pack generally last in our town?
quite a while. I mean,
Well,
we're
you said
And
you
how
had,
much are the demo packs?
3,000 each.
you said you had 1997 packs.
Two of those,
Two of
yeah.
those, and then the next one was 2000.
2002.
Two.
But even,
How
even
many did you have of those?
3.
Three, all right,
and
so
then
we got
6 of the 2007. But even a brand new pack today, if I buy a brand spanking new one, it's still, that's a 2018 edition.
Oh, I
So
see.
they don't,
Oh.
you have an edition of a pack and it's good for, the so-called style is good for so many years. If you kind of see what I'm saying.
Okay.
So 2023 is when the next edition's coming out. So it's kind of a matter of how you want to, basically it comes down to how do you want to fund it? You want to just be done with it and find 66 grand somewhere, or do you divide it over some time?
How many 2013 demo packs are available?
3, I believe. There's what, 3 or 4, but, and I do have, kind of the reason I came now, I mean, we don't need to make any decisions right now. We could see how the next month or two goes with budget stuff.
Right.
But the demos, they could disappear. But I do have, between the expendable trust fund and my special equipment line item, I do have 15 grand as of today.
I would think that,
And also the next 2 years, I just looked, we don't have any major gear purchases for the next, we're good on gear, really good shape on gear because of the way we have done it for the last 10 years. So the next couple of years, including this year, has been big purchases, like we bought hose this year. We had to buy a radio for the new fire truck, which is $700-800.
So how much would it cost to replace the 5? This 2000, the one goes 1997.
5 new ones would be like 33 grand.
33 grand. And then we could perhaps think of this as next year getting, so we don't get too far away from having what's new.
I was
what we just
thinking
buy.
of maybe
Right.
trying to do 3 a year type thing.
You know,
why wouldn't you buy those demos if they're good? I mean, I know they're
Which one?
2013, okay? They're 3,000 each, so, and there's 3 of them. So that's $9,000 versus, what, 18,000? I mean, half the cost basically.
It's half.
Why would you not use those to replace your oldest ones?
That was kind of the thought.
And you can do that in this year's budget and still not, as long as you're still okay in this year's budget,
Yeah.
and not have to even tap into anything or
Right.
up the budget.
Yeah.
My concern with the budget this year still is that we have 3 months left.
Yeah.
And is there anything else that you can put into this year's budget so we can keep next year's budget as flat as possible or increased
It's
as
gotta
low?
go up. Next
And
year's
I know it's
go
gonna
up.
go up, but I'm saying, that, like, I talked to you too about anything you can buy this year
Oh, I see.
that we still have underage in our budget, because we know our costs are gonna be increasing next year, and still keep it as flat as possible, and it's not gonna be flat, but that's where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Fuel
What-
purchases,
What
gravel
hurt, what hurt
purchases.
me a little bit was first year of COVID. You dropped my special equipment from 17.5 down to 12, so we were definitely that's up for discussion at work
Mhm.
session time to get that back where it needs to be. Which that's what hurts when you start buying $7,000 radios and $7,000 air packs and.
But if you talk about air packs, and that sounds like a pretty important piece of equipment that you guys need to maintain, I would think that to have something like that and use it with available dollars already, and spending half of it, if you're comfortable with knowing that a demo pack is gonna be.
Newer than the new ones we got and the new ones we got.
I know, but
from.
if they're, if their 2013 is sufficient in the best way, not like, yeah, we can get by with
Yeah.
5 years, don't be penny wise and dollar foolish on that. I would snatch those
Well, it
out,
would set us
and you're
into
already
trying to get in
Yeah.
a rotation instead
Yes.
of getting hit with 60-70 grand all at once.
Right. let's do it and be as conservative. I think what Barbara's saying, let's.
So I was gonna
stay
try
within
to,
the budget.
I was gonna try to get him down to $2,500.
And you
but I
can
don't
get them
know
down, that's all a good thing too. But I think all our departments, we gotta start thinking about
Mhm.
next year and the way, what's happening in this world. Let's not forget, what the cost of everything and just to try and be a little more conservative and stay within our means, but at the same time, a plan, like you're saying, and maybe let's remember this next year to say, okay, we're gonna get those packs, a couple more, and work our way to it.
That's what we
Over
do
the next few
here,
years,
we buy,
which is great.
we
We've
buy
always
two
done that.
fire gears,
Yeah.
20, almost $3,000 a piece.
Right.
Right.
So we try to buy 2 a year, we've been good for a couple of years, so.
Do
that's
you
what we
buy
do.
all of these from the same vendor?
Yes.
So demo or new, it's always the same vendor?
Well, there is a couple vendors we could
Play
play with, but the other
negotiate
vendor
with
didn't
them?
have any used air packs. Demos, I should say.
I would, in my opinion, I would look at your budget to where you have money still, not even touching your expendable trust fund first. I would like to know what's left in, anything that's
9
in
is
your
what I
budget.
got,
Well,
well,
look at it, we can look at that.
9's in my special equipment.
Equipment, and that takes
And
care
then-
of the 3 demo packs.
Yes.
Mhm. And then if you can buy 2 more, you're really replacing your 5 oldest packs. If you can use that with this year's money and get a better deal for doing that and try to negotiate with the guy, the vendor, whatever.
Well, there's only 3 demos
I
available
know,
anyway.
but are they from the same vendor?
Yes.
As
The
the
other
new
vendor
one?
didn't have any demos.
Yeah, so if you go back to the vendor with the demos and say, I need the 3 and the 2 new ones, this is what I have in my budget, tell me,
Yeah,
make
I
the deal.
can't get 2 new ones too in this year's budget, no way.
Okay, even with your
But
expendable
if
trust
we got
fund.
3 demos this year, that'd put us in good shape to set up something next year.
Tell them to fix the
Well,
cost
I
then
like
for
that.
next year and you'll put it into your budget.
Yeah.
You know, make something or I'll help you negotiate with the guy or something and just, you know, I'm sure he's gonna feel the crunch
Yeah.
too, because towns aren't gonna be spending as much money because
Yeah.
other costs are going up, and at least try to negotiate it down.
So,
I don't know, that's my thought on that, but I would try to get them down to 2,500.
yeah, I'll try, but.
And,
You would do that anyway.
well, I'd
so-
try to get them down to 2,000 and then sell it at
Yeah,
25.
that isn't gonna happen.
Not
I do have
right,
another,
am I?
I do have a possibility coming from, so that we'd have, what year are they? We'll see what happens, but I've got an option to buy, Hopkinton bought all new air packs from a capital plan that they did. And they've got, I can get like a whole, I can get all their old packs, which is the same as our newest pack, 07, which would set us up to have them 07s last quite a while with
Yeah.
parts for pretty cheap money.
Yeah,
Like,
so
really
that's
cheap.
really
So-
a big step up.
That would help us with that side of it, so, yeah, I mean, if we can, if I can get the demos
3 demos,
in this year's budget
right?
and make that happen, that would set us up pretty decent to figure out the next couple of years to get into some new ones.
Well, then I would make a motion to buy those 3 at the maximum price of $3,000 each, doing anything you can
Yep.
to get them for less. And
Because
and then
next
if you
year
can
I'd still
present
get-
us with what the other ones would cost for the 2007 ones.
And
Maybe
I'd be
next
glad to
meeting.
second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye,
Okay,
and
so,
if you come in over budget,
yeah, you won't do that. Make sure you don't.
another
Just
comment.
make sure you don't.
No, I think
You
that's good. Is there any salvage value to the 1997 ones?
No.
Can they go into the historical museum now?
Nah,
We got our own one of them.
1997.
Okay.
All right.
Um,
And how much again is the bottom line gonna be on that? What did we say?
this year,
Yeah, for those 3.
9,000,
9 grand.
Okay.
and that's available in the special grant budget.
Yep. Excellent.
I think it was anything important I had to
And
bring
that
up.
helps.
Building maintenance, just quick, wrapping up the year on that. We got a lot done, quite a bit of bad stuff fixed. Gary helped me with a bunch of it. Got a bunch of electrical fixed. Got the door opening for the new truck,
Mhm.
which is incredible. Makes the building
Yeah.
Great.
a lot better. Got the stove replaced, that's coming. A whole bunch of stuff done.
This is good.
So that went pretty well, considering. It's still, not that I don't want to discuss it tonight, but this last big rainstorm, we got some roof issues that that'll be discussed at budget season. But we do have some roof issues popping up with the roof leaking and heavy rains, so. Which,
So what is that gonna look like in the winter?
I'm not so worried about it. We got up on the roof last training and was hoping we had like a couple bad screws or something and couldn't really find a bad spot. I'm not so worried about winter. It only did it during the heavy bad rain. So it's not life-threatening. But there's definitely going to be some discussion on that.
All right, well, we will get to that, but I'm glad you got your pack and move this along, okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, pending facilities committee, so you want to probably say this.
Tonight, yes, it starts at 6:30 with everyone gathering, but at 7 o'clock sharp, we'll be starting the meeting at the Whitney Center. We will have a presentation by Stacy Daw from the North Country Council. And also, we have a PowerPoint presentation that lists all of the town-owned property and buildings and their current functions. We may not go over that whole PowerPoint because it's pretty elaborate, but it's a really awesome PowerPoint and informational packet of all of the properties. So we're really hoping to get first of all, a good turnout with questions and feel out how the town is thinking about what we need in town for infrastructure. And so that's, again, starts at 6:30 for refreshments and gathering. 7 o'clock sharp, we'll start the meeting till 8 o'clock, and I hope to see a lot of people there. I handed out flyers on election day. We put out a postcard in the mail, many reminders on e-news and flyers everywhere. So hope you can make it, and thank you, Jay, for changing around your weekly fire meeting.
I
So
probably
you can
won't
be
get
there.
there till 7.
Yep,
but,
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have you there. Chief Burley has gotten some information to me because he couldn't be at the meeting too. So if we have some questions about different buildings and needs, that'll be good to address those. So.
We'll probably have a few more people than you imagine because no one's going to Florida right now. We'll probably hold those
Yeah,
plans
right.
up. So, what a mess.
Yeah.
Okay, one upward here. Short-term rentals application approved, not available, we don't have any, okay. Building and driveway permits, there's a number of buildings here, but Kevin's not here, so I'm assuming that this is all just ongoing. Approved driveway permits, again, not available, but we'll be hearing more about driveways here in the near future, I'm sure.
I do have an application here that was left off. Well, hasn't gone to the office yet, but it was from up Saco Valley Land Trust. They owned a small piece of land on Eagle Mountain Road right next to Route 16. And there's a trail there. And he wanted to have a parking lot immediately off from the pavement in the right of way. And I told him I didn't think that would be a good idea. So he goes, I would like that in writing from the selectmen. So I said, okay, I'll bring it up.
Not having a driveway or a parking area in the right of way.
Right.
He
So,
knows
I mean,
he
this
can't do
is,
that.
when I grew up, that's a 60-foot road through there that we have. So this is our proposing, the paved section is 12 feet. So from the edge, he needs to go 18 feet with a driveway, then he can do anything he wants with parking, as long as he's out of the right of way. Because they kind of had that situation up on Bendy, on the trail, they parked for Doublehead, and that was just a horror show, because they let them park right next to the road. Never let that
And then all the cars are parking on the side of the road.
So there's no place to push the snow, it's just,
Yeah.
it's a real pain.
So did you say you did think this is a good idea, or you did
I know,
not?
he needs to be out of the right of way.
Right.
Right.
And he wasn't happy with that, he said, well, I need to get that in writing from the selectmen.
I think technically you have to ask Burr, but parking lot, you'd have to have a driveway entrance to a parking lot.
Yeah, it'd have to
rather than
be
just having a
within-
big parking lot up against the right of way.
Right, because also then
Right.
people just tend to park
Where
where
it-
they want
right
once
on
they
the-
see a parking area.
And you haven't spoken to Burke? Yeah,
No, I
no
haven't
one's,
spoken to Burke.
all right, so,
Do we have time
Should-
until the next meeting so you can, or
yeah,
do you want our
be
next?
fine, we sign this, you think, Julie, we should somehow get Burr involved with Gary?
Well, Gary, why don't you come see me tomorrow and we'll talk about it more, about
Okay.
drafting something,
You know,
whether.
Yeah.
so that we know what we're looking at, so he says, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do,
Right,
right? And I just take all the mystery out of it.
Well, I
okay,
would also cite precedent from what we dealt with up there.
right, yeah.
When they get in driveways.
And the sad part with it, the difficult part is it's only gonna get worse as time goes on.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're gonna basically make Jackson, what, 2 lots left unbuildable,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because you can't get driveways on. And it's just getting
Yeah.
miserable.
Well, no, I've seen some, well, you have over the years, I mean, when I think back to some of them that we've approved a long time ago.
Mhm.
you know. But you know, we're talking about people's dreams. They have lots of records, this is a plan that they've always had, you know, so we don't wanna make it so difficult that they can't do something, but we gotta make sure it's safe.
Right.
It's
And then the
important.
other tough
We don't wanna
part
get
is
involved with the
you got people that have owned these lots that have paid taxes on them for years and years
That's
and
what we're
years.
talking about.
And then all of a sudden they go to build on them, it's like, I can't.
It's their dream. Well, septic systems, just think of that, tell me what they're paying, astronomical amounts on ledge. But they say you can put a septic system in the middle of a lake if you had enough money.
Yeah, right.
No, probably. Pay enough money.
Nice.
Do anything with enough money.
Well,
Let's put something together and present it to Kevin and just for fun. Bring it up around April
Right.
Fools, see how it likes
all
that.
right, all right.
That'd be fine. I'm in on that one.
Well, okay. Next meeting, October 11th at 3:30, and then after that, October 25th at 3:30. And then it's voting day again. Emily, I'm glad you're here. Thursday, November 8th for elections. Can you cover in the morning?
Tuesday.
I mean Tuesday, I'm sorry.
Say Tuesday.
Tuesday, November
Tuesday,
8th,
November 8th.
8 to 7. Can you cover my morning shift? Not yet.
Yes.
Thank you. You're in.
Selectmen Benson.
Do I get
I'll
lunch
be
and
there for the
dinner
rest
for
of
that
it.
shift?
Yes.
Yes,
Hey, I was
too.
there
Last
for-
time I got lunch and dinner.
Yeah, and I'm there from 1 until 8.
Selectmen Benson running in March.
That's what we've been pushing for.
Absolutely.
Aw.
I'm trying to continue
I
to
thought
find.
Bill was the new
I know what it
select.
is. She doesn't think she's old enough.
I thought Bill
You gotta
Kelly
be
was the new select.
I keep thinking I'm not old enough. And then I look at the picture of me, I'm like, who's that girl gonna be?
You look the same as you've always
So what's
looked.
my shift?
If you do my shift in the morning from whenever what time does it start?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. until 1. And I'll come in at 1 and I'll stay there until voting and all the rest of it. Because I gotta be there, we have to be there.
They're the whole
The
day.
count and all, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
I'm
was
sorry,
pretty
when is the next select board meeting?
October 25th.
October
3:30.
11th.
11th and
And then
25th,
25th.
and then the 8th is voting.
You know, we always mention that we have a Zoom for the meetings, and I'm not getting really many participants at all, so I don't know if I want to include a Zoom anymore. I'm not a huge fan of hybrid meetings, and if we don't have to, I would think upon special request, if we have something like a short-term rental complaint and somebody can't be here, we can set something up for that purpose, but I think other than that, we probably don't need to continue with a Zoom link.
Maybe when we get to our public hearings, as you say, further down the road, and we start talking more about
Absolutely,
You
or
know.
budgeting or something
Yeah.
where we think we could really draw more people
what
to
you can do.
participate that way, but at this point, I think,
Yeah, okay.
and I really appreciate being there, Julie, plus you're not feeling well, but, yeah. Let's keep them in person.
All right, we'll do.
Awesome.
Public commentary, anybody else have anything to say here, except for Jay?
Not-
Oh, Emily
Well, I
is
was here for Jay,
Oh, okay.
but also the EOP process has started.
Yeah, yeah.
We missed you, Frank. I think you're the one who's
You
the
missed
select
it.
board representative.
Yeah.
Should I send you another reminder?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you getting
You
it?
can send, I think I got one.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Really want we could discuss
I'm
some.
I'm tough.
All right. Yeah, I'm road right, so it's good.
All right, so that's it, there's no public hearing, but no public comments beyond that? Making sure that I go to the next meeting?
Sorry. Is that right?
There's no comment. Okay, so I guess I'll entertain a motion to
I
adjourn the
will make a
meeting.
motion to adjourn at 4:10 PM.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye.
Thanks, Julie.
Bill, the mass is
Wait.
ended.